Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Nest. I'm Mia, and I'm here with Max.
Hey everyone, I'm Max, and today we are talking about hometowns.
Where you are from, where you grew up, the place that made you who you are.
This is one of the most personal and interesting conversation topics in English.
And one of the first things people ask when they meet you.
Where are you from? Where did you grow up?
Two questions that sound simple but open up so much conversation.
So let's start right there. Mia, where are you from?
I grew up in Pasadena. It is a suburb of Los Angeles.
Grew up. That is your first phrase. Tell us what it means.
Grew up means to have spent your childhood and teenage years in a place.
I grew up in New York. She grew up in Tokyo. He grew up in a small village.
It is past tense. Grow up, grew up.
And suburb, what does that mean?
A suburb is a residential area on the outskirts of a bigger city.
Outskirts means the edges or outer parts of a city, not the center.
Suburbs are usually quieter. More houses than apartments. More space.
What was Pasadena like growing up?
Honestly, charming. That is the word I always use for it.
Charming. What does that feel like?
Charming means attractively pleasant in a slightly old-fashioned way.
Like walking down a street and feeling like you stepped back in time a little.
Exactly. Old Town Pasadena has these beautiful buildings from the early 1900s.
Historic.
Very historic. Historic means having a long and important history.
Did it feel small to you?
Compared to central LA, yes, but not tiny. A medium-sized city, really.
Medium-sized. Not huge, not small, somewhere in between.
You knew your neighbors. You could walk to things. It had a real sense of community.
Community. A group of people in the same area who feel connected to each other.
That is something I really miss about it, actually.
Miss. To feel sad because you're away from something or someone you loved.
I miss the pace of it most of all.
Pace means the speed at which life moves.
LA proper is fast. Pasadena was slower. You breathed differently there.
I loved that description. You breathed differently.
It is true. The energy of a place gets into your body.
Now, tell me about you, Max. You are a New Yorker through and through.
Born and raised.
Born and raised means you were born there and grew up there, never left.
What is Manhattan like for someone who has never been?
Energetic. That is the first word. It never stops.
Energetic means full of energy and activity.
There is always noise, always movement, always something happening on every block.
Block. A section of street between two intersections.
My block has a coffee shop, a dry cleaner, a hardware store, and a park.
Everything you need within walking distance.
That is the thing about Manhattan. You do not need a car.
Car dependent means you need a car to get around. Manhattan is the opposite.
I do not own a car. I have never owned a car.
In LA, you absolutely need one. The city is too spread out.
Spread out means covering a very large area, not compact.
Los Angeles stretches for miles in every direction.
Manhattan is tiny by comparison, 13 miles long, 2 miles wide.
But incredibly dense.
Dense means a lot of things packed tightly into a small space.
People, buildings, restaurants, parks, museums, all squeezed in.
What are the downsides, Max? Be honest.
Ha, tell us the bad parts.
It is loud. It is expensive. The cost of living is very high.
Cost of living means how much money you need to live comfortably somewhere.
And it can feel overwhelming when you first arrive.
Overwhelming means too much to process at once.
Everything is big, everything is fast, everyone is moving.
How long before it felt like home?
About 6 months. Then one day, the noise becomes the soundtrack and you cannot sleep without it.
Huh. New Yorkers always say that. The silence of other cities keeps them awake.
It is absolutely true. I visited my cousin in a small town in Ohio once.
How was it?
Beautiful. Peaceful. I slept 10 hours the first night.
Peaceful, calm, and quiet. The opposite of your normal.
And then by day 3, I was restless.
Restless means unable to relax because you feel the need for activity.
I needed the noise back.
That is so New York of you.
Now, what do you love most about where you grew up?
Genuinely? The Rose Parade.
Tell us what that is.
Every New Year's Day, Pasadena hosts the Rose Parade, floats covered entirely in flowers.
Floats are large decorated vehicles or platforms that move slowly in a parade.
Millions of people line the streets. It smells incredible.
It smells incredible. The flowers on the floats?
And it felt like the whole world was looking at our little city for one day.
That is a beautiful thing to grow up with.
It made me proud of where I was from.
Proud, feeling pleased and happy about something connected to you.
What made you proud of New York, Max?
Everything, honestly. But specifically, the diversity.
Diversity means having many different kinds of people, cultures, and languages.
On my block growing up, I had neighbors from Puerto Rico, China, West Africa, and Russia.
All on one block?
All on one block. And everyone just lived together.
New York is a melting pot.
Melting pot. A place where people from many different backgrounds mix and live together.
It is one of the most diverse cities on Earth.
And that shaped how I see the world completely.
Growing up surrounded by that kind of diversity opens your mind.
It normalizes difference. You grow up thinking difference is just normal.
Normalizes means makes something feel ordinary and expected.
Now, how do you talk about your hometown in English?
Start simple. I'm from, then your city or country.
I'm from Sao Paulo. I'm from Seoul. I'm from Lagos.
Or I grew up in, then the place.
If you live somewhere different now, I'm originally from, than where you grew up.
Originally from means where you were born or raised before you moved.
I am originally from Mexico, but I live in Canada now.
Very natural and clear.
When you describe your hometown, think about 3 things.
Size, character, and what it is known for.
Size? Big city, medium-sized city, small town, village?
Character, the feeling of the place. Is it lively, peaceful, historic, industrial?
Lively means full of activity and fun.
Peaceful means calm and quiet.
Known for what it is famous for, what makes it special.
It is famous for its food, its architecture, its festivals, its coastline.
Famous for means well known for a particular thing.
And then what you personally love or miss about it.
What I love most about my hometown is then the thing.
What I miss most is then the feeling or the place or the person.
Those 2 sentences open up real conversation.
People love hearing what you actually feel about where you are from.
Not just the facts, the feeling.
There is a phrase in English, home is where the heart is.
It means wherever your people are, wherever you truly belong, that is home.
And home is not always where you grew up.
Sometimes it is where you choose to be.
Sometimes it is both.
Let's talk about asking other people about their hometown, because those conversations are so rich.
Where are you from? The classic opener.
And then what is it like there?
That question is an invitation. You are saying, tell me about your world.
And people light up when you ask it genuinely.
Light up means their face and energy become visibly brighter.
Because everyone has a relationship with where they are from.
Even if it is complicated.
Some people love their hometown.
Some people left and never looked back.
Never looked back means you moved on completely with no regret.
Both are valid stories. Both are interesting conversations.
What do you miss about it? A deeper follow-up question.
Do you ever want to go back?
Those questions get past the surface very quickly.
Surface means the top layer, the easy answers.
The food, the weather, the people, those are surface answers.
But then you get to the real ones.
I miss the pace. I miss feeling known. I miss the smell of the market on Saturday mornings.
Those answers are vivid.
Vivid means very clear and easy to imagine.
Vivid answers make the listener feel like they are there.
Now, some people are from places that are hard to describe in English.
Maybe the place name is difficult to pronounce for others.
Pronounce means to say a word correctly out loud.
Or maybe the place is not well known internationally.
Internationally means across different countries, around the world.
What do you say when someone has never heard of your city?
It is a small city in the north of then your country.
It is about 2 hours from then a well-known city nearby.
It is similar to then a place they might know, a helpful comparison.
It is similar to a smaller version of Paris. Very historic, very beautiful.
Comparison helps people build a picture in their mind immediately.
Picture in their mind means a mental image of what the place looks like.
Very useful when your hometown is not internationally famous.
Not every city needs to be famous to be worth describing.
Some of the most beautiful places in the world are almost unknown.
Hidden gems.
Hidden gem, a wonderful place that most people do not know about.
Off the beaten track.
Off the beaten track means away from the main tourist routes.
If you want the real experience of a place, go off the beaten track.
Away from the crowds. The best food is never near a famous landmark.
Landmark. A famous or important structure that people recognize and visit.
That is very true. The best food is always 3 streets away from the tourist area.
Down some steps, into a tiny place with no English menu.
Where the owner brings you whatever they made that day.
And it is the best meal of your life.
Every traveler knows that experience.
That is the off-the-beaten-track experience.
Now, must see, another great phrase.
Must see means something you absolutely have to visit. You cannot miss it.
If you visit New York, the High Line is a must-see.
The High Line is a park built on an old elevated railway line above the streets.
It gives you a completely different view of the city.
If you visit LA, what is your must-see, Mia?
Griffith Observatory, without question.
Tell us.
It sits up in the hills above the city. At night, you can see the whole of LA lit up below you.
That sounds breathtaking.
Breathtaking means so beautiful it almost takes your breath away.
On a clear day, you can see all the way to the ocean.
Incredible. That is the view that makes you understand what LA really is.
The scale of it, the sprawl.
Sprawl means spreading out over a very large area in all directions.
Now, one final thought about hometowns.
Go ahead.
I think where you grow up gives you a lens.
Lens means a way of seeing things, a perspective shaped by your experiences.
I see the world through a Pasadena lens. Slow mornings, community, warmth.
I see it through a Manhattan lens. Fast, diverse, always moving.
Neither is better. They are just different ways of seeing the world.
And when you describe your hometown in English, you are sharing your lens.
You are giving someone a window into how you see everything.
Window into means a way to understand something you normally cannot see.
That is a beautiful thing to be able to do in any language.
Especially in English.
Especially in English.
Today's question. Tell us about your hometown.
Where are you from? What is it like? What do you love or miss most about it?
And what is the one thing you would tell a visitor to see or do there?
If you are enjoying English Nest, please subscribe right now. New episode every single day.
Hit the like button, share with a friend learning English, and we will see you in the next episode.
See you next time, everyone.